My wife hired a hitman to take me out, so I asked her, "What are we having for dinner, darling?" She smiled with those pearly white teeth and said, "Steak, rare." Something had changed inside her ever since she accused me of sleeping with her best friend, and I swear on my life I never did. The truth was, her best friend always had a crush on me, and 6 months ago, she got a little tipsy and made a pass at me. I didn't have the heart to tell my wife, so of course her best friend made up a story that I actually hit on her. No matter what I told my wife, she never believed me. I work as a bail bondsman, and my wife works for me. Needless to say, we're around a lot of criminals. One of those criminals called me up and said, "Your wife just tried to hire me to clip you." I told her I wouldn't do it. I responded, "I appreciate that." Then he said, "She got someone else. She's offering $50,000 in cash." I asked, "Any idea who she got?" That's when he hesitated and said, "Yeah, Mendoza." I froze. Fear crept up my spine. Mendoza was the best assassin I've ever known. I've bailed him out when no one else would. To me, he's always been honorable, but the stuff that I've heard this man has done to people is horrendous. Take the worst violent acts you can imagine, then times that by 10 and you still won't even be close. I knew he took the job because he's in a lot of debt. I thanked my criminal friend for the info and asked, "Any idea when?" He said, "Tonight. She's planning to go somewhere right as it's happening, so she has no connection to it at all." I hung up, dropped to my knees, and wept. Not from fear, but from knowing that my marriage and the genuine love I have for my wife was now broken. I heard my wife call me from the other room. "Dinner's ready." I had to act like a fool and see if I could get her to crack. She made this incredible dinner, probably because she thought it would be my last. The steak was amazing, and I got sad, knowing I'd be missing it. I was quiet for obvious reasons, and she asked, "Are you okay, honey?" I nodded yes and had to ask, "Do you still love me?" She didn't even flinch and said, "Of course, silly." She sipped her wine and looked away. That was a common tell my wife had when she lied. I had to push it. "I'm not so sure about that." She turned cold. "I think the love between us died when you thought that I slept with." She cut me off. "I don't want to talk about that. Let's just enjoy this moment right now." She got a text message, read it, then said, "Oh my God, my sister's been in an accident. I gotta go." I knew that was a lie and asked, "What happened to her?" "The doctor said it was a car accident. I gotta go." She grabbed her keys and I cut her off at the door and said, "I'll go with you." Panic flickered across her eyes and she stuttered, "You should just stay here. My sister only wants me there." She was such a bad liar, but I knew if I was here alone, I was a dead man. I didn't stand a chance against Mendoza. My only shot was to keep her here and have the police arrive when Mendoza showed up and hopefully catch him in the act. I had already called the cops and they were strategically hiding out front in unmarked cars. I stood in front of her and said, "You're not going anywhere because I know what you did." She tried to act all clueless and said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Then the back door swung open and Mendoza casually walked in, sat on the couch, and pulled out a Beretta. He grinned at my wife and said, "You're not supposed to be here." Then he looked at me and said, "And you're not smart trying to plant coppers out front. They're not gonna save you, by the way. They're sleeping now." I froze, then said, "I need to ask my wife one thing. Did you really think I deserved this?" She started crying and responded, "You raped my best friend, so yes, you deserve this." It all makes sense now. Her bestie took the lie a lot further than I even thought. Mendoza started laughing. He knew her best friend. She asked him what was so funny and he said, "Your best friend is a liar and you're an idiot for believing her. Your man here's not that type, not even close. And I know her. I grew up with her family. She's a pathological liar." My wife felt so stupid and asked, "What now?" To his credit, Mendoza said, "I'll give you back 40 of the 50 grand. I charge 10 G's for therapy. I didn't want to clip this guy anyway. I might need him to bail me out again." Later that night, I left her for good. I decided not to press charges. And Mendoza never killed any cops, by the way. He just knocked them out.